All right, what is going on, guys? We are back. We're bringing the mass class videos back, like I told you guys. We're gonna be hitting a back day today. We're just really focusing on full, just upper back and thickness for growth. We're also gonna be starting with a little bit of calves. I'm trying to decide if I want to do hamstrings because my quads are still like, I might do laying hamstring curls. We might just do that because I like to do a little bit of posterior work beforehand. We're trying to bring my hamstrings up as well. So plan for today, we've been on a mini cut right now for the last, I want to say 10 weeks. So we're kind of cutting down a little bit on body fat, trying to get healthy again before we start this next push phase, which is actually going to be a huge bulk that we're trying to get to like 240 plus. And we're going to be filming the journey. I mean, we got Lucas behind the camera right now. He's my new cameraman. He's going to see me literally morph in front of his own eyes every single week. It's going to be pretty crazy. And you guys are going to see the same thing. So let's get in there and let's go crush this shit. Yeah. Learning test.
$2 a pop. I
Straight up.
3-4 of them a day.
Really? Yeah. I would do this on vacation. I told my client to do this. I was like, because he was like, I'm gonna be in like a different city for like a work thing. And I was like, dude, just go to Walmart, buy these things, so that we don't have to cook up rice. You can just throw this in like wherever, and then microwave when you need it. Well, you want to know how you make your rice not dry out is
throw water in it in the microwave.
you can do a little bit of that, or don't keep it in plastic containers. I keep my rice in bags. That keeps it nice and moist. I mean, after a week in general, if you shouldn't be eating rice like it's a week old anyway.
Yeah, that shit'll get moldy.
Yep.
I would eat 400 grams of rice every meal.
400 grams? I had 2 meals a day in my peak bulk there was one that was 430 and there was one that was 400. But I couldn't do that I couldn't do that 5 meals. That would suck. Yeah, if you eat that much carbs at once, like you're gonna get bloated. Start taking some insulin along with it.
Yeah.
We got over 100 ounces of water in us. We're hydrated. It's the way to go. It's like something that people don't like. They don't realize is like you got to be hydrated before you lift. I've had guys that are like, "Yo, I can't get a pump," and it's like, how much sodium, how much water have you had during the day? Well, it's like, dude, you probably have like 10 ounces of water, and you need, like, that's the other thing they say too is like, especially if you're working out in the morning, when you're only, I think they say 2% dehydrated, as little as 2% can affect your workouts by like a significant amount, where you feel weaker. All right, so for a lot of my upper body days, I've been getting back into starting with calves. And I don't think like everyone needs to do this, but I think a lot of you guys need to do this because I've seen you guys are lacking in the calf department. And you know who you are. If you're watching this video, I'm targeting you, straight up. So I start with calves like between 2 and 4 sets. And here I'll be honest too. I used to be that guy that, if this is you watching this video, I used to be that same guy. But this is the thing that's helped me a lot. I've literally doubled my calves in size. I start with 2 to 4 sets of calves. I'm probably gonna do like 3 here, and then I'm gonna go to hamstring curls. The other thing with calves is you gotta start training more intense. I see when I see people doing calves here, most of the time, it's like 8 to 10 reps and they're just going to mild discomfort. Like you have to go and train calves like to failure because they're a muscle like every other muscle in your body. You have to train to failure to grow. Move this back one. So I only do hamstrings like twice, so I do hamstrings twice a week, but quads only once a week, right? But the hamstrings are after quads, so we want to find another day to like prioritize them with volume, and so I do them before I start back. But since I hit quads a day late, my quads are still sore as fuck. And usually I would do like a seated hamstring curl, but if I put that bar around my legs, like that's gonna cause some major pain. It's not gonna make the set good. So I'm gonna get on this one for a laying down one, That way I can just rest my quads on the pad rather than like having to have the pads forced down my quads. Come on. I need to shave my legs, dude.
That's not sus at all.
What? Yeah, no.
Bodybuilding thing.
Here's the reality with like hopping on steroids is like, I already have a lot of body hair. I probably shouldn't. This is something like a TMI.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's just the reality. Like if you already do, like, it's just gonna enhance that. And so like 1 week of growth looks like 5 weeks of growth.
That's how my hair is.
You know what I mean? Like,
Horrible. I got a haircut like 2 weeks ago.
really? Yeah. Whereas like if you're like a person that doesn't have a lot of body hair beforehand, it's like you won't probably get a lot of body hair anyway. But what were you saying about like the bodybuilder versus the small fighter?
I really think if the bodybuilder could catch the fighter, if he could get him in his hands, that the fighter does not really have a chance just because the strength. I mean, there's technique in jiu-jitsu and ground stuff.
You think the fighter doesn't have a chance or does?
On the ground. They're gonna find a way to muscle you out, but if that fighter can stand his feet and keep his distance, which is probably
Right.
faster.
Right.
All it takes is one good hit from like a professional fighter, and that bodybuilder's never taken him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like 130 pounds.
Yes. He's gonna have his mouth, the bodybuilder's gonna have his mouth hanging open. He's gonna get caught, and his brain is gonna shake around in his head, and that'll be it.
I don't know, what do you guys think? Is an IFBB Pro bodybuilder that weighs like 250 pounds, is he gonna lose like to one shot of a fighter that weighs 130 pounds? Put your answer in the comments. That's it for hamstrings. Let's move on to some rope pullovers for some lats. We'll continue from there. Actually, you know what I realized? So I usually do a couple warm-up sets on here. One thing I was actually gonna implement before we even started this. I'm gonna try to find that attachment here. We're gonna warm up the teres first. This is something I've been doing for kind of like a warm-up lately. Is I'm basically just bending all the way down here. I'm kind of opening my scapula, so bringing my shoulders forward, and I'm just coming down like that. I'm not coming all the way through here because I don't want to engage a bunch of lats. I'm basically just trying to open up my scapula to warm it up for my lats so that I can do better, so I can engage my back and my lats better once I actually move into it. And you're almost thinking about pushing this down with your hands to engage your teres a little better and coming out to bring your scapula and your shoulders forward. Before, I never did this, like I never got body work done or like any sort of deep tissue massages done before this because I just didn't realize how beneficial it was. And I was talking to him, like the massage guy, and he's like, dude, mobility is so important in bodybuilding because by doing things like dead hangs, by doing things like this and opening up your back, like that's gonna allow you to grow on more muscle. Because if you think about it like this, right? If you're trying to constantly stuff a muscle and try to get it bigger, like you have to stretch that muscle out and that skin and that tissue out for more to get there. You know what I mean? If you're not doing that in some sort of way, you're just not gonna add on. There's gonna be so much inflammation and stress built up into like that area that you're trying to work, like your back or maybe your chest. Like that's why it's super important to get that stuff like massage. Like I'm gonna get like a massage gun for before workouts. I'm gonna get a foam roller, and then there's like this other tool you can get, but it's like for like a specific areas that you're that you're massaging, and then getting deep tissue work. Like that's gonna be a big principle of my off season here, because I want to put on as much size, especially my back, as possible. Let's go. So this exercise, like, obviously we have this at our gym, but not everyone's gonna have access to this specific setup. So another alternative is you can do upper lat pull downs, and it's just basically like a long bar pull down, but you're just going to be like kind of pulling more back, and that's gonna work your like upper back muscles, like your lower traps and your rear delts, which essentially we're gonna be doing here. We're gonna keep our arms, our hands in, aiming back here, coming forward, driving down, elbows down. Let's go. Jeez. All right, let's go. Oh, jeez. So, really just trying to drive your elbows back and squeeze that. Think about squeezing like a grape in between your back. Really like to keep my chest on the pad and keep my chest down, because as soon as you start like lifting off the pad, you're not going to be able to get as much engagement with like the traps in your rear delts. I was talking about this in my story the other day about like the whole concept of like main gaining, and how it's always the kids that are like under 200 pounds like raving about it because they're like, oh, well, I don't want to get any fat. So essentially what main gaining is like people think they can put on muscle without going in a calorie surplus. They think that staying at the same calorie amount is going to build a muscle. And while I would argue that's true, like when you're starting to lift and you're not really tracking diet and you're kind of just eating whatever, like, yeah, you'll gain some muscle because you got newbie gains, right? But after like a year, you're gonna need to actually put yourself in a caloric surplus to be able to put on weight. No, I mean, this whole like purpose for you guys, I wanna just drive the fact home, like on how to bulk properly. Like I'm telling you guys, fuck your winter arc. Fuck your winter arc, bro. We're starting this shit now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, no more being some skinny fuck.
Like me?
Well, we're gonna get Lucas huge, guys. We're gonna get Lucas huge. No more propaganda about dirty bulking and fucking main gaining. It's time to bring it up a notch. We're gonna teach you guys. You know what's gonna be called? It's gonna be called EFB. Early full bulk. We're starting the EFB, motherfuckers. It's time to get huge. This bar makes me horny. This is such a good bar. No, it's whenever the bar is like attached like this and it doesn't move and spin, you're not shifting where you're gripping on the bar. I noticed like if you're trying to like go like this and your grip is like this, you're gonna be using a lot of see how my forearms are activated like that? That's not gonna happen because it's connected at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like it's connected right here. It's not gonna come back like this unless like you're doing some crazy lightweight and you're really trying to activate your forearms, you know? a double drop set on this exercise for 2 top sets. We're gonna go a little bit heavier. You just grip and rip for the first part of the top set before we drop it a bit and really focus on form. Oh, here we go. Get this on. That's done. Oh, jeez. Forearm cramps, bro. Have you ever had forearm cramps?
Oh, I have.
Dude, those are the worst. Lower back pumps are bad. It's very like situation dependent. A lower back pump on a leg day sucks ass. Like it's like not much can get worse than that. But forearm cramps post-workout, like where I'm trying to get work done and I'm just like, even though I'm drinking electrolytes, I'm trying to get hydrated again. I'll be like writing something down and my whole arm just cramps up. And it's like I'm doing nothing, bro.
I get him racing.
Get him racing, yeah. Well, that would make sense because, dude, when I mountain biked, especially going downhill all the time, you're just like do, and you're just like freaking shaking. So like, I can see where that comes from. I don't know, guys. Answer in the comments. Lower back pumps or forearm cramps.
Yeah, after he does it, sticking in these next fields because I love it. To the boss niggas who really love who does it. Yeah, and this way too far, gonna say that shit I won't touch it. Niggas are sharp, new big teeth, they're like buckets. Stab in the face of my circle like Kit Kat does it. I can take a little bitch if I want to, yeah, but I does it. At the chat of that G65, taking straight at the shot, take a night of my house. They asked her the hell I make money, I couldn't even tell them cause I don't know how. Turn it to beat till it plays again, turn it to beat till it down. With 2 more long, could've say that shit so pretty that get on the code. I'm a big dog, yeah, you mouse. Can't even run with it, you my balls. I done upended this shit on my soul. And I'm gon' rock it in every show.
Like,
Do classic too.
yeah. I mean, like, my eventual plan would probably be to move into open.
Because isn't it a little bit of a disadvantage to like be your height in classic or no?
I don't know. I mean, look at Terrence Ruffins. He's like 5'7", and he's got probably. I would guess he's gonna get top 2 this year at Olympia.
Yeah.
And Mike Summerfield's 5'9".
Oh, really? Okay.
So I mean, I think he is at least.
I guess I was just thinking of C-Bum.
But C-Bum, yeah, I mean that's true. Like
Kind
he.
of ran that shit for like 6
Oh
years,
yeah.
you know?
I mean, dude, if you're in classic, it really comes down to shape.
Yeah.
I feel like classic is a lot more shape and symmetry. Open is just like, all right, how big can you
Size.
fucking get? Yeah. And like, I think right now, if I cut down to stage weight, I'd probably be like high 180s. If I were to guess, yeah. Yeah, because if I were to guess how many weeks out I would look right now, like I'd probably look 14 to 16 weeks out. So you figure another 20 pounds.
Yeah.
But I mean, because yeah, you get like with classic, it's like you gotta be diced. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at a lot of those guys, it's like striations shoulders, striations chest, quad striations, which like that's why my coach wants to like solidify. Like he was talking to me last week. He's like, I knew one of the guys that was competing. He was 19 years old. And he's trying to become the youngest pro, like alongside like Anton, and he had a lot of muscle on him, but he also lost a lot of muscle in prep because he built all the size real fast, but didn't take the time to solidify that into muscle maturity. Because like newly acquired muscle, like that's gonna be the first to go when you get down to like that high deficit. So like that's why like right now, like if I were to cut and go do a show, I'd probably lose a shit ton of muscle because like I've only done one cycle. You know what I mean?
That makes a lot of sense actually.
Because like that's why he wants to solidify that. It's like I might as well take the time to actually put on the size needed and solidify that size and take a longer off season if you want to do better in your first
that
show.
way when you eventually do step on stage, you're actually bringing your best form. You know?
Exactly. You're not looking like a string bee on stage. That is a wrap on today's video. Like I said, guys, this is just beginning. We're cutting down for a couple more weeks, and then it'll be time to put on some real size. 240. Road to 240. I'll see you guys in the next video, which should be a pre-lift talks video. And we're gonna keep the mass class videos going. Lucas and I are out. Peace.
Everywhere I go, I'm taking my flow. It's straight outside, no chicken. Sipping on syrup by day. Get a hug it in no pussy.